Oh, we're a go. So it's a little bit different setting, but I think this video is either past due or it's very, very close to being due. A lot of you have started working on different little paintings to like kind of break up the program, but um, this is a video kind of explaining what the tracing paper is for. Tracing paper is kind of the step, tracing paper step is kind of the step tattoo artists take after their kind of just like sketch idea generating phase, which is basically what you've been doing as you've explored these styles of tattoos. You've kind of been then, you explore the style, then students take some time to lay out some ideas. And the tracing paper step kind of comes after that. It's when you start to solidify your ideas a little bit more into more of a holistic design. Sorry if my eyes keep getting cut off. It's just, this seemed like the only angle I could go for here. Anyway, so the students either have designs they've already made that are still at the club, or they're ready to further create like a more finished design. That's when the tracing paper comes in. We'll order tracing paper on an as-need basis, so I would say be conservative with it. Have students do smaller designs, so that way they have to use less tracing paper to get a more finished product. So I have done a design here, right? A little sketch of just a tree. And I'm going to use the tracing paper then to kind of see what different things look like around the tree, right? So I've taken my tracing paper and I'm putting it over the tree. And when I do that, I can kind of like draw things on top. I can draw the whole image again, right? I can draw the whole image of the tree again. But I can add different things to it as well to see how it will look. So you can trace it again. I'm going to do the whole thing again. When you do this, you can kind of add other details along the way as well. So you don't have to draw it exactly the same. You can kind of experiment with different styles or different looks, but I'm going to pretty much copy this as is. Maybe solidify this bottom here. And then once I do that, I can kind of, right, maybe add something else to see if I like it. What am I going to add here? I'm just going to add a... So okay, let's see, I just added a little moon, which, so at this point, if you don't like that, the probably process that would have made more sense for me to take in this situation would have been for me to just lay the tracing paper over the image and draw some things that maybe would look good on the tracing paper in different areas and decide then whether or not I like them. Then if I found out different features to the picture make it look better, I could have permanently added those features like I did the moon here. But at this stage, I'm just going to put some more lines on here. Let's say I really liked the moon, right? And it got to that point, and let's say I really like that. but it's missing something. It's missing like a border. So at this point, I can decide I kind of want to put a border on it, and I can either use a compass, which I don't think a lot of the clubhouses have, or I can use some sort of other circle stencil, which I think some of the clubhouses have. If you don't have a serious circle stencil, you can use something like the bottom of a mug or a cup. You can use like a lid if it's big enough. So for this, here we go, this is perfect. I just have this thing of paper clips. I'm going to put it down here at the bottom. Trace around it. It's perfect size. My tracing paper doesn't really cover it that much, but there we go. We have a little tree with a little circle border around it. At this point, once you have like a design solidified, and this comes later, so this video is kind of covering 2 different weeks, but once you have a design that you like, you can keep the piece of tracing paper with the design on it that you like. And you're going to get, then, all the clubhouses will get this stuff called spirit paper. Now, spirit paper is what allows artists to freehand stencils that they then will like put on the skin of a client and peel it off, right? They'll put it on the skin, get it wet, leave it there for like 10 minutes, peel it off, and you'll have that stencil. So there's a piece of division paper in here that you have to remove, right? So you remove that, because that's separating the piece of paper that the stencil will go onto, and there's like this ink backing. And so what I can do is I can put my design right on top of the spirit paper, and then all I have to do is trace my design. Okay, so I'm just tracing my design on the very top. I'm pressing kind of firmly.